How was your day? You know, it seems like such a simple question, doesn't it?
It really does, everyday stuff.
But what if I told you that, well, inside those seemingly mundane details of our daily routines, there are these surprising patterns, choices we make, even sort of whole philosophies about how we live.
Oh, absolutely true. Even the most, ordinary day, if you actually unpack it, it can reveal this incredibly rich tapestry. Habits, priorities, they all shape who we are.
And that's exactly our mission today on the deep dive. We've got these two really detailed accounts of a typical day from two people, Sarah and Daniel.
Yeah, minute by minute stuff. Morning, afternoon, evening.
Exactly. And our goal isn't just to list what they did. We want to dig deeper, extract those nuggets of knowledge about how we structure time, the choices we make, how we find balance in those 24 hours we all get.
And this deep dive, it's really a chance for you listening in to maybe think about your own daily rhythm.
Right. You might find new ways to approach your day, or maybe just get some insight into how differently people navigate their hours.
Or just understand how those tiny choices actually add up.
Okay, let's get into it then. Let's unpack this, starting with the morning. Because how a day begins. Wow, that has a huge impact, doesn't it?
It really sets the tone.
So, Sarah, she starts her day bright and early, 6:30 a.m. What jumps out at you about her immediate actions? She opens the curtains, lets the sun in, drinks water.
And critically, doesn't check her phone first.
Yes, that part.
Well, what's fascinating there is just the sheer intentionality. That's not just random. Drinking water first, getting natural light before the phone. It's a kind of micro ritual.
A micro ritual, I like that.
Yeah, it primes her mindset, anchors her in, deliberate self-care right from the start. Now, contrast that with Daniel. He's up a bit later, maybe 7:15.
Around that. Yeah.
And his very first move, checking the weather on his phone. Then, because it's sunny, then he opens the windows.
So, external check first.
Exactly. It immediately shows a different set of priorities ticking in. Practical preparation, maybe.
That's a really key distinction. Okay, what about breakfast? That next step in setting the tone. Sarah had toast, butter, a banana, coffee. Simple. She mentioned she likes simple breakfasts, sometimes oatmeal with fruit.
Very consistent with that intentional, perhaps health-focused start. Daniel, he had scrambled eggs and tea, an apple.
A bit more involved, maybe.
Maybe, but he also added that he doesn't cook every day. Sometimes, if he's rushed, it's just bread and jam.
Ah, okay. The reality check.
Exactly. It shows that tension, right? Between the ideal routine and the practical demands of life. It's not about perfection every single day.
It's more about the underlying intention or maybe flexibility.
I think so. Flexibility, conscious energy allocation, what really matters to you in that moment. Health, speed, comfort, it's all woven into those little choices.
Okay, so moving into those pre-lunch hours, this is where things get really interesting, I think. A big divergence.
Definitely.
Daniel, he dives straight into work after breakfast, checks emails, answers messages, then settles in for about 2 hours on what he called a difficult project.
Research, writing a short report. Yeah.
And he specifically said he likes doing his most important work in the morning when I have energy.
Right. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, Daniel's strategy, it perfectly aligns with ideas like, eat the frog. Tackle the hard stuff first.
Leveraging that peak mental energy.
Exactly. He's optimizing for professional output, clearly.
Yeah.
But Sarah, she uses that same morning block completely differently.
Yeah, after breakfast, she goes for a 20-minute walk in the park.
And she noted something specific, didn't she, about music?
She did. Sometimes music, but today she just listened to the birds and enjoyed the fresh air. Very mindful.
Very. And then back home, she tackles a household task, cleaning the kitchen.
So while Daniel's deep in a report, Sarah's prioritizing. What? Mental clarity, physical movement, before domestic work.
It seems like it, and this really challenges our standard idea of productivity, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, Daniel's productivity is task-focused, external, maximize work output. Sarah's approach, though, it highlights this often overlooked deep work of just self-maintenance.
Like keeping your own system running smoothly.
Precisely. Realizing that clarity, movement, even a tidy space, they're foundational for any kind of output later. She is investing in her well-being first.
So one gets immediate output, maybe the other gets sustained energy or mental space.
Could be. It's different forms of investment in the day, both valid, just different priorities.
Okay, let's shift focus then. Midday, lunchtime, and what happens right after. Often a mix of food and errands.
Usually, yeah, the practicalities kick in.
So Sarah, Homemade vegetable soup, fresh salad.
Okay.
And this detail, she added fresh herbs from my little balcony, garden basil, and parsley.
Oh, that's wonderful, that little detail. It says so much, doesn't it? Connection to food, maybe a little sanctuary at home.
A personal touch.
Yeah,
Makes it feel very deliberate.
it really does. An active choice for quality. Now, Daniel had a chicken sandwich, lettuce, tomato, iced tea, and he mentioned he prefers eating at home during the week.
Okay, simpler maybe, but still homemade.
Right. And this whole midday period, it does raise that question. How do we balance just feeding ourselves with managing the house and maybe squeezing in some personal well-being?
It's a juggling act.
Yeah.
So, after lunch, what did their afternoons look like? Daniel headed out.
Yeah, grocery run. The list was specific, too.
Yeah.
Vegetables, bread, milk, and some snacks for the week,
Standard stuff.
mostly. But then he added nuts, yogurt, and a small bar of chocolate.
Uh-huh. The chocolate bar. Knew there'd be something.
Right. And it's relatable. It just shows how even in our practical tasks, we weave in these small comforts, these little self-rewards. It humanizes the whole routine.
Totally. And Sarah's afternoon. Seems like a total contrast to a grocery run.
Very different vibe. Quiet. She read a book for about an hour,
Nice.
followed by practicing yoga. And she mentioned she does that 3 or 4 times a week.
So again, very intentional. Internal focus, personal development, well-being.
It really reinforces that for some people, this kind of self-care isn't a luxury add-on. It's built into the structure of their day. It's essential for keeping things balanced.
Yeah, a non-negotiable. Okay, so as the day starts to wind down, let's look at the evening. Dinner, post-dinner. How they wrap things up.
The transition to relaxation, or maybe prep for tomorrow.
So dinner, Daniel kept it simple.
Yep, pasta with tomato sauce, quick, easy.
Sarah, meanwhile, had rice with chicken curry. But she mentioned a strategy here.
Yes, cooking big portions so I can save some for the next day.
Smart. Batch cooking for efficiency.
Definitely speaks to planning ahead, making that cooking effort count for more than one meal. Very practical.
Okay, so after dinner, how do they unwind or maybe prepare?
Well, Sarah watched a cooking show for about half an hour. Then she prepared notes for this deep dive, actually.
Meta and Daniel.
Daniel also prepared for the deep dive, but before that, he called a friend, chatted for a while.
Interesting mix there for both.
It is. What's fascinating is how these evening routines blend things. Relaxation, like the cooking show, or the chat with a friend.
Social connection for Daniel.
Exactly. And forward planning, saving leftovers, prepping notes. It's subtle, but it shows how we manage efficiency and connection even as we wind down.
It really does seem like those core preferences, productivity, self-care, connection, they just keep playing out right to the end of the day.
Consistently. And not just the day. Look at their weekend plans.
Right. Sarah's weekend sounds pretty active and social.
It does. Visiting parents on Saturday, hiking on Sunday. It totally fits with the active, maybe slightly more extroverted elements we saw in her day.
That pursuit of energy, connection, and Daniel.
His plans sound more mellow, relaxing, reading, maybe meeting a friend for coffee.
Quieter, more reflective.
Exactly. A natural extension of that more focused, maybe introverted preference we saw. It shows how we recharge differently, and that's consistent across the week, shaping our daily choices and our weekend plans.
So when we wrap all this up, this deep dive into Sarah and Daniel's seemingly ordinary days, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the key thing is realizing that the ordinary day isn't really ordinary when you look closely. It's this rich tapestry woven with deliberate choices, habits, even these underlying philosophies about what matters.
It's not just what they did.
No, it's the why behind it and how those tiny choices add up to shape their well-being, their productivity, their whole experience of the day. Understanding these patterns, these structures, it's kind of a shortcut to understanding human behavior, even self-management.
Yeah, it really is like looking at a blueprint for how they approach life. Okay, so the big question then. What does this all mean for you, listening right now, thinking about all this intentionality hiding in plain sight? How might just one small, conscious shift in your own routine, maybe something in the morning like Sarah's water habit, or maybe an evening thing like Daniel's call to a friend, how might that change your overall sense of purpose? Or just your well-being?
That's the provocative thought, isn't it? What small intentional choice could you make tomorrow? Just one thing to nudge your day, even slightly, towards a deeper sense of alignment with what truly matters to you.